Jack Reacher, Never Go Back was the 2016 follow-up to Tom Cruise's original appearance as the titular character in 2012's Jack Reacher. While the film was met with a poor reception when it was originally released, Jack Reacher, Never Go Back has found increased popularity following its release on Netflix. This new attention has come with inevitable comparisons with Amazon's Reacher and dredged up an old criticism of Tom Cruise's casting as the franchise's central character. Tom Cruise has proven himself to be an action movie staple, but at the time the original Jack Reacher was released there was a great deal of discourse around his casting as the character. One of the biggest concerns centered around Tom Cruise's appearance was that the actor didn't look like the character described in the novel on which the film was based. While this had little impact on the success or failure of the two films in the franchise, it has remained an enduring criticism. Because of Tom Cruise's height. The actor has proven his action chops, but he just didn't fit. Both films have had their share of criticisms, but along with Tom Cruise's age, one of the bigger complaints centered around the actor's height compared to the character as described in the novel. Cruise is only 5 feet 7 inches, and while he's always managed to maintain a lean frame, he's a far cry from the muscular, unstoppable force that Reacher is supposed to be. Since Reacher is described as 6 feet 5 inches and 250 pounds in the books, Cruise never quite fit the character. Jack Reacher, Never Go Back's renewed success on Netflix has renewed these old comparisons. This inconsistency divided fans of the novel when the films were originally released and continues to do so. The exact reasons for Never Go Back's return to the Netflix top 10 aren't clear, especially in the number 2 spot, but it could very well have to do with the current popularity of Amazon's adaptation. Fans are hungry for more material centered on the character, potentially turning to these older adaptations to fill that need. Was Tom Cruise's height really an issue for Jack Reacher? He didn't suit the character, but did it take away from the film? Jack Reacher, Never Go Back with Tom Cruise starts filming. The casting of Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher did have some amount of impact on the films. There were undoubtedly fans who chose not to see the movies based on his casting, but on a more fundamental level, Cruise's build and stature took away part of the core appeal and characteristics of the central character. Jack Reacher is an intimidating man, towering over the people around him, and is meant to appear as an unstoppable force. These are traits that Cruise can't match, no matter how big an action star or how good an actor he is. On the other hand, Cruise has become something of an unstoppable force himself in the action genre. His presence and performance has carried the Mission Impossible franchise since the first film, and while not every action movie he's starred in has found critical acclaim, he's certainly proven his star power. Cruise's reputation for performing dangerous stunts and his capability of drawing in audiences and selling the roles he's in even as he grows older sets him apart from every other action star out there. Amazon's Reacher fixed the problem with Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher movies. Alan Ritchson embodies the role. Reacher premiered on Amazon Prime in 2022, with no connection to the films that came before. The series cast Alan Ritchson as Jack Reacher, with the series finding critical acclaim and blowing the films out of the water in terms of popularity and reception. With a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, it's clear that the adaptation got Reacher's characterization right, with the most visible change being Ritchson's casting. Standing at 6 feet 3 inches, Ritchson is much closer than Cruise, and his build and even presence are far closer to the character as described in the novels. With the series potentially bringing fresh eyes to the Tom Cruise films, the two stand in sharp contrast to each other. Reacher continues to prove to be more popular, and Cruise's films, unfortunately, fell prey to the fact that Cruise simply wasn't Jack Reacher to most fans. As Jack Reacher, Never Go Back proved, a Tom Cruise action film is just that, a Tom Cruise action film. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's not always the right fit for certain properties. Still, with the popularity of the Amazon series, the two can coexist as separate and very different takes.